Edward Gein was born to Mr. George Philip Gein and Mrs. Augusta Wilhelmina Gein. He had an elder brother named Henry Gein. His father George was a chronic alcoholic, and this was a major reason why George could not settle down with any particular job for a long time. This led his family deep into poverty. This caused resentment in Augusta. Augusta owned a grocery shop, which was the only means by which the family could meet the expenses of their livelihood. The society looked down on Augusta because of the serious drinking habits of her husband George, and so her hatred towards her husband reflected on the society as well. The religion to which she belonged considered divorce a sin, and that was the reason why she held on to her family life further, but she couldn't handle staying in the village where they lived for a long time. Hence, she bought herself a farm and a house nearby it in a small town named Plainfield. This place was far away from the outside world, and this was the reason why she opted to buy this particular spot. She wanted to stay away from the muddle of the society, and this was the only way she could think of to get rid of that society. She did not want her children to be influenced by the people from the world outside her house. The Gein brothers got to see the world outside their house only while they were on their way to school. When they were back home from school, Augusta would read out the Holy Bible to them. But that was never the usual way of reading a Bible. She only read out some unique verses of the Bible's Old Testament. The sin of being an alcoholic, the ill treatment in the world, death, murder, weakness of women were the only topics she read about. Edward Gein did not have a very happy school-going life. This was because he did not know how to mingle with his fellow students. He always sat down lonely, speaking and laughing all by himself, and this made him look funny in front of the others. He couldn't make friends with anyone. Every time he tried to be friendly with someone, his mother Augusta pulled him back. Instead, she advised him that friendship would lead him to commit sin. According to Augusta, she never felt that she was wrong. The reason why her husband became a chronic alcoholic is due to his friends' circle. She strongly wished that her children not fall into the same trap, which made her do all this. In spite of all this, Ed Gein loved his mother dearly. He considered her words divine. He did not want friends who his mother did not accept. But his elder brother Henry Gein was different from Ed. He had no unusual characteristics like Ed had. He had a lot of friends without the knowledge of his mother. Ed Gein's father, George, died of cardiac arrest in the year 1940, after which the Gein brothers started taking up small jobs for their livelihood. Slowly, they got exposed to the society. Ed Gein started taking care of his neighbor's children, for which he would get paid. He enjoyed doing this job. He understood that he could get along with kids better than with the ones older to him, as there was no big difference in his behavior as he grew up. Even after he grew up, he had blind trust in his mother's ideas. Even then, he had no friends. Henry Gein was against his mother's thoughts and ideas. He understood that the idea of not keeping contact with society was wrong. He paid no value to what his mother would say. Even though Henry had decided to live his life based on his choice, he was worried about his younger brother Ed, who led a life based on his mother's words. Henry came to a conclusion that he wanted his brother Ed to realize the actual facts of life that were far different from what his mother had taught him. Henry started to tell Ed all he wanted to say. Ed Gein could not bear the words of his brother, but still kept listening to him. At that moment, Ed started developing anger towards his brother, but did not speak a word harshly back at Henry. All of a sudden, Augusta entered the room listening to their conversation. Augusta began scolding Henry, but to her shock, Henry raised his voice back at her for the first time ever this way. It was a real pain for Augusta to see her son talk to her like that. She never even imagined that her son would speak to her in such a manner. It was more than what she could bear. Her mind was on fire. But that night, the fire spread to their farm. The farm is on fire, and the Gein brothers were up to snuff out the fire. Amidst this, Henry Gein went missing. Immediately, Ed Gein informed the cops about his brothers going missing. The cops began to search for Henry. After some time, the cops found out Henry's mortal remains and declared him to be dead. He had died by catching fire during the process of blowing out the farm fire. But the cause of the fire was someone else. After the death of Henry, Ed resided with his mother. His only friend, Mom and Dad, was his mother, but this couldn't last long. On 29 December 1945, his mother died of a cardiac arrest. Thereby, he lost his guide and his only friend, Augusta, and had now become a lonely person. With the money he earned from his job, he continued his life on the farm. He stayed in a small room beside the kitchen. He kept the rooms his mother used, the parlor on the ground floor and the guest rooms, neat and tidy, just the way it was. Meanwhile, Gein became interested in reading books about murders and deaths. In 1957, on 16 November, Bernice Worden, the owner of Plainfield hardware store, was found missing. Cops began the search for Bernice. Even after a long hour of search, they couldn't get any information regarding her. But they got someone suspicious. It was Ed Gein. There were some reasons for the police suspicion. A day before the incident, Gein was present at the shop in the evening, as witnessed by Worden's son. The sales receipt of Gein's order was also missing, which was also written by Worden. The cops did not arrest Gein immediately. Before that, they decided to search his house. They reached Gein's home and started the search, but couldn't find any piece of evidence. Before they left his house, they decided to search the first floor and couldn't believe what they saw there. All the cops were in shock at the sight of what they saw, and this was the first time ever they had seen something like this. A corpse was hanging upside down from the roof with the head and the other parts of the body been cut off. They understood that the body was of the missing lady. They arrested Ed Gein immediately. They could not believe that the very innocent-looking Ed Gein had committed such a crime. They started questioning Ed Gein. In his reply, he had a lot to say about, and not just about, Bernice.
I felt very lonely after my mother's demise. I tried to spend time by reading books and engaging myself in other activities, but nothing really helped. My mother's demise had affected me mentally to a great extent. I somehow decided that I wanted my mother's presence throughout. So, at night, I started digging up the graves of middle-aged women. Until now, I have dug up 9 graves, and I took home those corpses that resembled my mother. I took them home and ripped out the skin, with which I made a wearable suit. I spend time thinking of my mother wearing the suit and enjoy doing it. When I wear it, I believe my mother is with me.
The cops could not believe Ed Gein's words, but couldn't refrain from paying attention to it as well. They searched the house again and found out that whatever Ed Gein had told them was the truth. They found the suit that was made of human skin from Ed's house, but it was not the only thing they found. They could find many more objects that Ed Gein had not revealed to them in his story. vessels that were made from human skulls, seat covers made of human skin, masks made of human skin, the heads of 10 women that were cut off from their bodies, lampshades made using human facial skin, and many more objects made up of different human body parts were found at his house. All this turned out to be shocking to them. These were all made from the corpses that were taken from the graves that Ed Gein had dug up, which were unbelievable to the cops. The cops questioned Ed Gein for the second time. This time, the cops weren't very nice to Ed. They had used a lot of force on him. In the end, Ed Gein spoke out the truth. Many girls had gone missing from the village during those times, and Ed Gein had used their bodies to make these objects, as per what he had said. He did all this after he had killed the girls with a rifle. Ed Gein was taken to court with all the evidence. But the court ruling was not what everyone expected. The court ruled that Ed Gein was mentally ill, and so he would be put into a mental asylum for further treatment. Even though the decision was right as per the law, the people of the village couldn't accept it. Later on, Ed's house caught fire completely. No one knows whether it was an accident or a made-up situation. After years, in 1984, on July 26th, Ed Gein died of cancer at the Mendota Mental Health Institute. Ed Gein's grave in Plainfield Cemetery was tried to be destroyed very often in the period of many years.